everyone, my name is Norma Guzman and I am one of the College and Career Navigators at CLC. Today we will talk about completing your CLC application. Ready to become a CLC Lancer? Before we get started, the application has no enrollment fee, nor does it have any essay component attached to the application. But we do need to make sure that we're prepared. So make sure that you have your social security number handy, if applicable, and a personal email account ready. Moreover, if you are a current dual credit student, a tech campus student, or have in the past registered for something like a summer camp, please check in with your College and Career Navigator to see if you already have an application on file. If so, then you would not need to complete the application again. You can also contact our main office number at 847-543-2090. Let me go ahead and show you how you can go ahead and see your College and Career Navigator's contact information. Now let me go ahead and show you on the main CLC website where your College and Career Navigator's contact information is located. So let's go ahead and pull up your favorite web browser. I'm just going to go ahead and use Google Chrome for the moment. And let's key in the search box, College of Lake County. We're going to go ahead and click that first link, and it takes us to the main CLC site. In this Enhanced by Google, we're going to go ahead and key in College and Career Navigator. And the first link that pops up on this site, you're going to be able to go ahead and see your College and Career Navigator. We have a picture of ourselves up there, as well as our phone number and our email. So if you definitely have any questions or concerns, always feel free to connect with one of us to talk about those next steps. Since we're already on the main CLC website, I'm just going to go ahead and click on this logo right here, and it takes us right back to the very first page. But if you've noticed that Apply and Enroll link was where we were at the other page too. I just always want to start in the main page so you guys can see where everything is located. So if we click Apply and Enroll, right here, we have a little bit of information. This page provides us steps to get started at CLC. We have specific information about new and transfer students, homeschool students, summer-only students, and information for students that plan to take non-credit classes, just to name a few. Let's go ahead and click on New Student or Transferring to CLC. Here again, it showcases the steps that you're going to take as new students to make sure that you're prepared to start your first semester at CLC. So we're going to go ahead and stay in step number 1, Apply. And we're going to go ahead and click the student admission form link. And it will take us to the College of Lake County admissions form. Here again, it's just letting us know that if we've already applied, that we can go ahead and contact the College and Career Navigator, and then that's our main office number. But what we're going to go ahead and do, if this is completely our first time, is we're going to go ahead and click on the bottom where it says Sign Up. Now we should be seeing this Sign Up page pop up for us. And what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to put our first name, last name. This has to be, again, our legal first name and our legal last name. So let's go ahead and key that in. Because I'm just doing a test application, I'm just going to put test. And then for this one, I'm going to be using an email address. I will be using the Warren email address that I currently have, just because I already did another test application with my CLC email. And you can only do this application once because it's linked to our information. We're going to go ahead and click I am not a robot. And we're going to go ahead and submit. We'll go ahead and get this thank you note just letting us know that thank you for creating an account with the College of Lake County, and they will send us an email link with more information to follow up. So to continue with the application, we will need to go ahead and access our personal email account that we went ahead and put. So let's open up a new tab. I've already gone ahead and completed that task. I have it over here. And as you would see, I went ahead and received an email. Let's go ahead and open it up. The email you should have received is from info@clcillinois.edu, and the subject is Welcome to the College of Lake County application. Since we already have the email now open, we're going to go ahead and click where it says click here on the actual email. And it's going to go ahead and take us to create a password. Now, please know that this password must be at least 8 characters in total length, and it must contain both letters and numbers. We will put the password twice and then click Create Password. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Once that has been completed, the screen will refresh and then we will see this page with a whole bunch of pictures from CLC. And if we scroll a tad down, we will go ahead and see where it says Start a New Application, which we'll go ahead and click to actually go to the student admission form. This application is adaptive and it removes or adds information as you answer questions. Moreover, we have the option to complete the admissions form in one sitting, or we can always save the work we've done and return later to finish it off. Now, there are a couple of different reasons why students would apply to CLC, so let's review the 3 different options. One of them would be to take credit classes. That would be for students that would like to earn a degree at CLC, a certificate, take transfer courses, career courses, or are dual credit / tech campus students. That's the first reason. The second reason why a student would apply to CLC would be to take adult education classes. These are specifically for students who want to earn their general education diploma, learn English as a second language, or continue with adult basic education and literacy courses. The third reason a student would go ahead and opt to take classes with us at CLC would be the non-credit classes. Those classes are meant for students who are just seeking leisure or personal and/or professional development classes. Let's get started with the application. Now, if you have previously spoken to our Center for International Education and are an F1 visa student, please make sure that when we select the options, you put, I want to take credit classes and answer yes for the F1 visa question. For all the other students, let's go ahead and click to see all the other options. For this application, we want to take credit classes, take adult education classes, or take non-credit classes. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and do take credit classes. Are you an F1 visa applicant? I'm going to say no. For a term, let's go ahead and click it open. We have 3 semesters, spring, which goes from January through May, summer, which ranges from May to July, which includes our intersession, and fall, which goes from August to December. So again, here, we are realistically putting in the term that we're planning to come to CLC. So for this example, we're planning to come fall 2021. Now we're going to go ahead and click on my side. It says update application just because I've been working through it, but on your side, it's going to say start application. So let's go ahead and click on that. Again, mine says this additional information because I've already gone through it one time. So let's talk about the items we see on screen. On the left-hand side, if we click on the 3 lines, the application sections or cards will pop up. These cards let us know how many sections we need to complete in order to finish that application. As we move through the items, the circles will be shaded with color once we complete them. If we click on Review Your Application button at the top right-hand corner, we will see how much of the application we have completed as well. So those are two different ways that we can see how much of the application we have completed. If we click edit, it'll take us back to actually editing the application. The red dots that we see on screen are required fields, and we must answer those questions before we're able to submit the application. As you can see, it has already pulled up our first and last name into the application. Make sure to add your middle name in there as well. Now, if we scroll down a tad, the next one up is maiden name or previous named used. So if, for example, we had a different last name before, or we married and then our name was changed, we can go ahead and put that maiden name in there. Our date of birth is going to go with month, day, year. And then we're going to go ahead and be able to select gender, which is male, female, unspecified, choose not to answer. And those are all the options that we have. Here on this portion, it asks for you to provide your Social Security number. It is required for financial aid eligibility. Basically, the reason we require this information is because when your FAFSA application is sent to the CLC Financial Aid Office, all your information must match in order for the information to merge into your CLC account. Make sure that when you are typing your number, not to put any dashes or any spaces in between them. Make sure that you put the correct information on there so your file is processed correctly. If you don't remember your Social Security number, make sure to save and go back to look for that information and then log back in. Now, if you don't have your Social Security number or you just don't want to disclose this information, you can add 9 zeros in that field. Let's go ahead and quickly put our Social Security number in here. And then let's go ahead and click Save and Continue. It's going to go ahead and take us to the next portion, which is the contact information. We're going to go ahead and select preferred phone type, which would be, do you prefer to be contacted through your home phone or a mobile phone? For this example, I'm going to go ahead and put mobile, and then it gives us a little message just letting us know that the Lake County uses text messaging only to notify students about closings, emergencies, or important updates. And then we're going to actually go ahead and type in the mobile number or your cell phone number, another way to put it. Now we're going to go ahead and if you have another number that you would not mind us to contact you in case we can't get you through your mobile phone number, we can go ahead and put an additional number. For this case, I'm just going to go ahead and put the same number in there so you see it marked in there. For home address, we must list a legal documented U.S. address, and this is to assess the student's tuition and fees and for state reporting purposes. We're going to go ahead and leave it as United States of America, and then we're going to go ahead and key in an address. We're going to go ahead and put the city, the state, which is Illinois, and then the zip code. The next part, it's going to ask us if our home address is the same as our mailing address. If so, we're just going to keep it as yes. If it's not, you can put no. And then, for example, some people use P.O. boxes, so that's what you would put on the section below. For right now, I'm just going to leave it as yes, that it is the same address as my mailing address. And this bottom question over here, it asks, have you lived in the Lake County area 30 days before the start of your first semester at CLC? The next part, it's going to ask us if our home address is the same as our mailing address. If so, we're just going to keep it as yes. If it's not, you can put no. And then, for example, some people use P.O. boxes, so that's what you would put on the section below. For right now, I'm just going to leave it as yes, that it is the same address as my mailing address. And this bottom question over here, it asks, have you lived in the Lake County area 30 days before the start of your first semester at CLC? Now this question about residency just wants to know if you are or will be living in the Lake County area. For example, some cities in the Lake County area include Gurnee, Antioch, Vernon Hills, Grays Lake, Waukegan, and Highland Park, to name a few. If you have been living in the Lake County area for more than 30 days before the start of a semester, be it our fall, spring, or summer session, please mark the first box. If you have not, then please check the second box. So it's yes or no. For this example, I'm going to say yes, we have been living for 30 days before the start of the semester at the Lake County area. We're going to go ahead and click Save and Continue. The next section is demographic information. So it's going to talk about the citizenship status of the student. If we click on it, we have U.S. citizen, U.S. permanent resident, or other. So if we put U.S. citizen, then it immediately goes to ask, are you Hispanic or Latinx? This application is adaptive, so depending on what information you provide, it's going to go ahead and provide you the follow-up questions. If we put we are U.S. permanent residents, it's going to go ahead and ask us then this type of information. If you are not a U.S. citizen, what is your home country of origin? If we go ahead and say other, it's going to go ahead and give us more information like what is our visa type. To make this example easy, I'm just going to go ahead and say, yes, we are U.S. citizens. And then it asks again, are you Hispanic or Latinx? Yes or no. And then it wants to know which do we identify with from the following racial groups. And we can check all that apply to us. We can also decide to choose not to respond to any of these racial groups if you don't feel that they apply to you. For the next section, it just asks, are we planning on using federal military benefits? Our options are yes or no. And then if we have any U.S. military service record, please select an option. If we are active duty Grace Lake, active reserve, inactive reserve, veteran spouse or family member. So you're like a dependent. If none, we choose none. And then down here, it wants to know if English was your first language. It's either yes or no. If we put no, it was not. We put no, English was not my first language. The follow-up question says, did you begin to learn English before the age of 12? If so, it asks us to select a yes, no, choose not to respond. And then it asks, did you learn English in a country where English is the primary language, such as USA or Canada? Again, it lets us select yes, no, choose not to respond. To keep this example simple, we're just going to go ahead and put yes, English was my first language. Are you unemployed or underemployed and experiencing difficulty in obtaining or upgrading employment? It's an option of yes or no. And we're going to make sure we click Save and Continue. Then we're going to go ahead and talk about high school status. It just wants to know what is our current high school status. So our options are, I graduated from high school. I am currently in a grade K through 12 and expect to graduate high school. I earned a General Education Development Certificate, also known as a GED, or the state certificate, or I did not graduate from high school and no longer attending. Quick note, for students who are currently in K through 12 and want to take college level classes or non-credit classes for minors, there are certain paperwork that needs to be completed in order for us to be able to go ahead and allow you to take classes. We're going to make sure we save and continue. And over here, it just gives us that little brief information that I spoke to you guys a little bit about. In order for high school students to attend and take credit classes over the summer, for example, need to submit a form called the Secondary School Reference Form. For students who want to take, or minors, non-credit classes, we need a signed parental approval form in order for you to be able to take those classes. Now, if we don't remember the exact date or month that we graduated from high school, go ahead and please mark the first of the month, just so we can have something on record. So for example, if we put on the last question, yes, we graduate, we are going to go ahead and put around what day we graduated from. Let's go ahead and put high school name. Right on this box, we're going to go ahead and either select the high school we attended, or if it's outside of the Lake County area, we're going to leave it with other U.S. high school. If we were homeschooled, we're going to go ahead and put homeschooled high school. Or if you attended in a high school outside of the USA, we're going to go ahead and key in international high school. So let's say, for example, we attended Warren. So we're going to go ahead and start keying that in, and it's going to populate for us. And then it's going to be in there. And we're going to go ahead and click Save and Continue. The next part, we're continuing educational history, and it wants to know if we have attended a U.S. college or university before CLC. If we have, we put yes, and therefore it's going to ask what is the highest level of education we completed after high school. Did we go ahead and take just some college credits that we're currently registered in at the university? So for example, these are for our summer-only students. Some college previously enrolled in a college or university. It means that you're planning to come back to continue your schooling. If you have an associate degree, bachelor's degree, certificate, doctoral degree, first professional degree, or a master's degree. For the example, I'm just going to go ahead and put that, and then we would click Save and Continue. If, let's say, this is your first time attending a community college, then we would put no, and that's the only piece of information that you have to answer. Let's click Save and Continue. And then we go into parent history. It just wants to know, has either of your parents attended a college or university? If so, we're going to go ahead and put yes or no. If we put yes, it just wants to know a little bit about, did your parents graduate from a four-year university, yes or no? So let's go ahead and put that. And then we would click Save and Continue. Let's say that your parent has not attended college or university, we would put no, and then that lets us know that you would be a first-generation student, and we can go ahead and click Save and Continue. All right, we're almost done. The last section is Academic Plan, and it wants to know if we are planning on transferring to another college or university after attending CLC. We can respond yes or no. If we put yes, it wants to know if you have checked out any of our guaranteed transfer admission partnerships that we have with about 30 plus universities and colleges, and the ones we have are down below, just so you can take a quick peek. Or if you're thinking about other colleges or universities, you can go ahead and put other, or if you still are in between a couple of colleges, you can put unknown. You could also have the option to put several options if you're thinking about a couple of different schools that you want to attend. If you are not planning on transferring, we can go ahead and put no, and that's the only question that you have to complete. The next question up is, what is your primary reason for attending CLC? And we have to transfer to a four-year university or college, to improve my skills for my current job, and I am not planning to transfer, to prepare for a future job immediately after attending CLC, and I'm not planning to transfer. The last option is for personal interest, self-development, not career-orientated, and I'm not planning to transfer. The next section up is about understanding you a little bit better and know what field of interest you're looking further to study or learning more about. When you select a field of interest, you're not committing to it. You're just letting us know your thoughts as of the day you're completing your application. You're always more than welcome to talk to your college and career navigator or your academic success advisor to up this information at a later date. If you would like to learn more about our fields of interest, please click this link. It will go ahead and take you to our degrees and certificates so you can see what our big umbrellas or fields of interest are. And then within them, what different degrees or programs you can go ahead and study. Let's go ahead and go back to the actual application. And in which field of interest you're planning on studying or learning more about at this time, we're going to go ahead and select one of those big options or fields. So for example, maybe you are interested in business, hospitality, or information technology. Once that's done, we have an additional question. Which program are you planning to study from within that section? Are you looking in accounting, business administration, more like into computer information technology, economics, supply chain, or at this point in time, you're currently undecided or your program is not listed already on this sheet? We can go ahead and put one. Let's say you want to do this, and then we can go ahead and continue. Now, the following question wants to know which best describes your educational goal at the College of Lake County. Are we degree seeking, certificate seeking, or are we course takers? So if we don't know what that is, let's go ahead and actually review that information. Let's go ahead and go back to the actual application. And in which field of interest you're planning on studying or learning more about at this time, we're going to go ahead and select one of those big options or fields. So for example, maybe you are interested in business, hospitality, or information technology. Once that's done, we have an additional question. Which program are you planning to study from within that section? Are you looking in accounting, business administration, more like into computer information technology, economics, supply chain, or at this point in time, you're currently undecided or your program is not listed already on this sheet? We can go ahead and put one. Let's say you want to do this, and then we can go ahead and continue. Now, the following question wants to know which best describes your educational goal at the College of Lake County. Are we degree seeking, certificate seeking, or are we course takers? So if we don't know what that is, let's go ahead and actually review that information. Degree-seeking students can use degrees to enter directly into either careers or transfer to a four-year college or university. So for example, our goal would be to earn an associate degree at CLC and or transfer to a four-year college or university or go out directly into the workforce. Certificate seeking are students that typically go ahead and obtain certificate's degree to enter directly into a career. So for example, our goal then would be, my goal is to earn a certificate at CLC. Course taker are students who specifically take courses for either personal or professional interest, or are transferring back to their current college or university. So for example, a student who's only coming to CLC in the summer to take one class and then transfer back out. So then the goal would be to meet a personal or professional objective, or our goal can also be take one or more classes at CLC and transfer them back to my college or university that I'm currently attended. Based on that information that we reviewed, what best describes you? Are we degree seekers, certificate seekers, or course taker? For this example, I'm going to go ahead and put degree seeking, and we're going to continue on. How certain are you about your selected field of interest? And we say very certain, that's definitely something that I want to do. Somewhat certain, I'm a bit iffy, but definitely something I want to do, or not certain at all. And then we go ahead and click Save and Review Application. Once you get to this page, we can just go ahead and review all the information we've posted up here. Just kind of check again. Make sure everything is correct. And if everything looks good so far, we continue just reviewing, making sure we go through all the different sections to make sure everything is okay. Okay, we're going to click Review and Submit Your Application. We are almost done completing the student admission form. Let's go ahead and break up this last pieces of information on this page. So the first point just talks about how College of Lake County is committed to assist all members of the CLC community by providing for their safety, security through the CLC Police Office. Moreover, the CLC Police Department can provide information about campus security, personal safety, and fire safety, including topics such as crime prevention, college police law enforcement authority, crime reporting policies, crime statistics for the most recent 3-year period, and disciplinary procedures. They have this information available in a booklet or on the CLC Police Department website, which you can go ahead and click right there. The second point it wants to go ahead and let us know is about the Drug Free Schools and Communities Act Amendment of 1989. The reason that this information is put there is because we want to make sure and remind students of the standards of conduct relating to drugs and alcohol, the health risks associated with drug use and alcohol abuse, the available support for those experiences, drug and alcohol problems. If you would like more information on this topic, please visit or click the link on the screen, which is right here. This third paragraph over here just wants to remind students that CLC is a community college, and from time to time we may have photography and video for college-related activities. Please make sure that you read all those paragraphs to make sure that you understand everything that you are certifying. This last paragraph right here just wants to make sure that you understand that by completing the application to the best of your ability and ensuring that all the information is as correct and as complete as possible. Moreover, the College of Lake County affirms and adheres to policies of equal opportunities in all aspects of education and employment. Once we have everything, we just go ahead and click I verify all is true, and then our electronic signature, which would be your first and last name that you can key in there. And then once that is done, the blue button will go ahead and populate for you, and you just need to click verify and submit. Because this is a test application, I will not submit it, but please make sure that you guys do. After you click the verify and submit button, you'll see the following image on your screen, which we're just thanking you for having completed the CLC application and how we look forward for you to attend the upcoming semester with CLC. We have sent a confirmation email with your next steps to the email address you provided. And if you do not receive a confirmation email within 1 business day, please make sure that you contact your college and career navigator, or you can go ahead and give them a call at their main offices at 847-543-2090. Again, you can also go back to the beginning of the video where we watched and saw how we can locate our college and career navigators. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope this video worked. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care.